Welcome back to another episode of Distracted. We got your host, Jag, a.k.a. Santos, alongside...
Me, I'm Gugs.
And shit, last week we covered the beefs. We covered the war, Kendrick Drake. We didn't get to talk about the last one that Drake dropped, which was a Heart Part 6.
Man, like we say at the end of our episode, it's a wrap. The beef is over, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to admit it, but I think it's done. I think an anticlimactic finish.
That's a good way to put it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't. I thought it'd be more fucking heads bursting and rebuttals and all that shit, but it just sort of like ended, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, so with that said, is there any debate? Who do you think won?
So the Drake fan of me wants to say Drake won, but I mean, I'm a fan of Kendrick as well, so I realistically have to give it to Kendrick so far, which, I mean, what else can you really say now? I think that's the part that where I'm just I can't let go. You know?
So far. So it's not over?
You got to throw that like 1% chance of like there might be a rebuttal or something.
Is it still going? That's another question.
Well, Academic said he spoke to Drake today and said, you know, some real life shit got in the way, and it's technically not over. But I mean, the fuck can he really say at this point? Like, man, well, let's start with this. Who do you think won?
I mean, if you're just asking me who won, Kendrick. Like, I think it's easy to say that because when Drake dropped the Heart Part 6, it kind of felt like he was waving a white flag. Like, hey, I'm over it. I'm good, bro. Like,
see, I like the Heart Part 6. I'm like the 1% that actually did. But that being said, I think the bop, Not Like Us, fucked him. Like, if that wasn't dropped, then I think the Heart Part 6 was a good track. But
I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm coming out. Like, I don't think it was one-sided at all because I thought Drake more than held his own. Everything he dropped, I thought was a banger. When he dropped Push-Ups, like, the whole world went nuts. Even Family Matters, I thought was a banger, and he came at everyone. I thought that was good too. It's just my only issue is when, like, he just stopped. Like, he just kind of said, all right, I'm done with this. I'm cool. Like, you could have what you have, and, you know, but Kendrick kind of finished with the edge. So that's the thing. At least public perception wise too. Like, everybody that was even on Team Drake, like all public figures, like whether it's like Cameron, Mace, and whoever, everyone that was really like, nah, they're scoring it for Drake. Even they're like now, like, man, Kendrick, you just have to score it to Kendrick.
He literally took that playbook, like that Drake playbook. Like, he's like, yo, I'm gonna fucking do a back. He actually did say the whole back-to-back thing. Remember in one of his songs, I'm
back-to-back. I like that record.
Yeah. And he fucking, all he was missing in that recipe was a bop. And he gave him a bop. He gave everybody a bop. Like, listen, even if you're fucking Drake said in the Heart Part 6, the song itself is pretty fucking catchy.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, the guy who it's about is... But this is the thing, man. Like, imagine being Drake, one of the biggest artists in the world, and you're getting the Meek Mill treatment right now. You know? Clubs are fucking rocking that song. I was driving down the road the other day. Of course I'm going to be driving down the road. Fuck. Anyways, I was driving and I actually heard it. And I was like, oh shit, like, this is the first time I'm actually hearing Not Like Us. And it made me want to listen to it. Like, I put it on right away too. I'm like, shit. So it's a fucking bop. I can't even hate. Like, it's a good ass song.
Like, yeah, let's, you know, at the time when it first dropped, I think, like, I was saying, like, I don't know, it's a lot because it just dropped so fast. But then, like, once I kind of got over the whole, like, overwhelmed part, like, man, it's a banger.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that, and like the more I listen to it, like the more I keep liking it too. Like, it's such a vibe. And another thing though, with like another reason against Drake is, remember when he was saying like, nah, you ain't running away from this one.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like on his last song, the last thing he says is like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm walking away from this. Like, that's kind of weird.
Like, even like it's you know what it is. It got messy. It got messy. It's not just about the music anymore. It's not about like who's a better rapper. It literally, fuck. I can never say that fucking word. It literally became about who had the worst gossip.
Yeah, it just
who
became
could make the
like
other guy look like a shitty
yeah, it's
person.
all about spilling tea, which is kind of crazy. And who knows if any of it was even true? That's the craziest part.
That's what
like,
I mean.
It's
was
just
getting
about
messy.
like yeah,
like I don't know if you came across the Twitter shit that I saw, man. And it's just like everybody is just left in this gray area. Like, what the fuck is going on? Who is who? Like, there's a random account that popped up on Twitter that's showing receipts of like, oh, I have video footage of Drake and all this shit. And then there's like, people are thinking that's actually Kendrick, because when you look at a video that this mysterious account posted, the background is the same background that you see in one of Kendrick's previous videos. So people are assuming that this is Kendrick just hiding behind a fake profile, which he's done before. He has burner a fake accounts, right? So who the fuck knows? But like, it's getting dirty though, man. Like it's getting to a point where like, I don't know, like it sounds weird to even say that we're in this point right now, but like I was writing down some of the shit, and it's like an overall consensus I'm getting from some people, like the Drake fans, is like Kendrick fans spent the last 2 weeks praying that children were abused, dogs being abused, women being trafficked, man. There's this reporter like in a wheelchair and he's handicapped and whatnot, and people are sort of hoping that he was beat up, and like I don't think anyone hopes it, but I think in a weird way they were like waiting for it to be true, because they hate Drake so much, they want to see the downfall that bad, that they're just like, yo, listen, we really want this shit to just be true. And that's fucked up, man.
I think there's a lot of fans that, like, if you started Team Drake or you started Team Kendrick, like, you weren't going to change your minds. It didn't matter who dropped what track.
It was
like,
predetermined.
You weren't. That's why I think, like, and that I'm thinking this more in hindsight, but, like, what was really in it for Drake to get? Because he was never going to change the Kendrick fans' minds, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Like we said in the last episode, it was we recounted where we were when we heard the songs. Like, it was energy.
Oh yeah,
it was energetic and all that shit. But it's getting weird now, and it's just not fun to follow anymore. Like, it's becoming sort of like who's like, I saw this latest thing that like academics got sent a leaked video or audio of like dogs crying and all this shit. And they're saying that like Drake's behind like fucking dogs or some shit, and Drake sexually assaulting like this handicapped man. And I heard this other rumor where there's proof of Drake getting some girls to get on their fours and drink water out of a dog bowl. Like, it's just getting wild, man. Like, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like, there's no hip hop in anymore. Now it's just like this weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
now let's just talk.
Who's really more fucked
yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Right. And at the end of the day, like, you can say whatever you want. People can say, oh, it was the labels that shut it down. It wasn't the labels. Hey, man, the labels at some point were bound to step in.
Oh, for sure.
You can't have your poster boy.
These are the money makers for
That's
your labels,
what I mean.
right?
Like,
so you're gonna let an artist talk all the shit about another artist. Like, in today's culture, like cancel culture, you're gonna lose your biggest artist. You're gonna risk them getting canceled, risk them not making you all this money, lose all the sponsors, everything that comes with it.
But see, then that makes me think about the fact that like Drake's getting dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
But then you have Metro Groomin, who just recently all his tweets came to light about like, people calling him Metro Groomin and all that shit.
Yeah, that
like,
was crazy.
And there's some like, there's some fucked up lines that he said on Twitter. Yes, mind you, he was younger and all that shit, but come on. It's some rapey ass shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
that was actually like pretty bad.
Right? Like, she might be young, but she's ready or some shit like that. Like, and at the end of the day, like, I don't see no cancel culture going after him. Rick Ross, I put Molly all up in her drink. She didn't even know it.
He escaped it. Yeah, that was a while
like,
back.
All these people escaped. Like, but I feel like Drake, when people already want to see you fail, they will run with anything.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one thing. Like, it goes to show, like, they always say, like, people build you up just to tear you down.
Yeah.
Like, this is a perfect example. And I'm not saying it's only specific to Drake. Like, you've seen it across the board for many years.
Look at fucking Meek Mill, man. He was a shit. This guy took fucking flack from Drake. He's taking flack from fucking Diddy. He's taking shit from 50 now. Like, this guy never escaped the fucking darkness, man. Like, I've heard some questionable videos and audios of like people claiming that Meek's getting his cheeks clapped by Diddy. Like, that shit's fucked up, man. Like, imagine just being like back to back. You know, it's not your tour, it's your girl's tour. Now Diddy's fucking you. Like you, where do you go? He wore this questionable outfit recently too. He was wearing like a netted fishnet fucking shirt, and people are like, "Come on, dog! Like, are you really gonna do that now when there's claims of Diddy fucking you? You know what I mean? Like, everything's just fucked right now."
But that's like the power of the internet too. Is they're gonna bring
fucking powerful, man. When it gets dark, it gets fucking dark quick. You know?
Yeah. Like, they're trying to dig dirt up on you. They're trying to make jokes about you. They're trying to they're trying to tear you down. Right?
Anything. So speaking of that, then, like, what's next? Does Drake bounce back? Like how he bounced back from the Pusha T shit? Is this way worse than Pusha T shit?
You saw he posted on his story, right? It was like summer vibe. Was these good times? Like summer vibes up next or something like that?
Or some shit.
Like that. That also kind of.
But and the background though was one guy, like one samurai versus like an army. So I'm still in the point where somebody's got to show receipts, because it's not really one versus all these people if all this shit's fake. Like, if like it's coming out right now that Kendrick actually fucking baited Drake. Drake paid $100,000 to a rapper.
Yeah, there's like a rapper in Atlanta who's saying that.
Yeah, and like
Drake was offering $150K for dirt on Kendrick, and he basically says, "Yeah, we fed fake information."
Kendrick literally went like Uno, like, here's a fucking Uno card, reverse card. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you, I baited you. So I mean, I don't know, right? And that's the thing. Like, I feel like. But I will say, people that are saying it's 0-4 Kendrick and Drake had no hits, no. Drake had hits. Drake held his own.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like, for people like to in defense of Drake, is like he definitely held his own. Like, he was dropping good songs and everything when they were really going toe to toe. And I think another misstep maybe Drake would have had was like he was kind of doing the whole 20v1 thing, and it was cool, but Kendrick was just like, "I'm coming for you and only you."
Just like straight.
Yeah, he dedicated all his attention towards Drake, and that's it. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe Drake just viewed it as like, "Oh, it's me versus everybody, not just Kendrick." But it's like, you got one of, if not the biggest rapper in the game coming directly at you. Yeah. At some point, you got to be like, "Okay, I'm addressing you and only you, and not just giving you a couple bars."
Not even just addressing you. Like, he literally just like tore him down. Culture vulture, all that shit. And it's like,
meet the Grams, his whole family.
Yeah, right. So like at that point, and the thing is, like, the internet's gullible as shit. Somebody on the internet said Drake fucked a dog, and now everybody's like, "Oh, Drake fucks dogs," and all that. So when Drake said that, like, everybody, their mind just switched. Like, "Oh, you are a fucking culture vulture, man. Like, you did steal from us. You aren't black, like, fully. Like, you are robbing us." It's hard to get out of that, especially when you got one of the most like West Coast Compton, artists coming at you, literally claiming
and that was one of Kendrick's plays too, right? He's like, "I'm what the culture feeling," right? So he's rapping, like, he's presenting himself in a way, and I mean, I'm sure it's true too. Is like, he said what he said, right? And he's kind of basically implying like, "Oh, Drake isn't for the culture." So
talking about that, then, after having these claims with you, who do you work with next?
Yeah, that's crazy because,
Future's against you.
Yeah.
Metro's against you. Metro undeniably is one of the hottest producers in the game. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, yeah, bangers.
West is against you. And West is, well, whatever, questionable. Ross is against you. Fuck Ross anyways, but, like, Ross is still against you. Who do you got?
I mean, in the past, Drake's worked with, like, damn near everybody. He's gave everybody hits. But now...
I saw another point too. People are like, Drake claims Atlanta and all this shit. Like, where are all these guys? No one's backing him up right now. No one's supporting him.
Well, I mean, Kendrick called them all out in the song too, right? He's like, he mentions Quavo. He's like, "You got lingo from Lil Baby," all that stuff, right?
All that shit.
Yeah, like, Future got you in the clubs, 2 Chainz. He mentions everybody, like, from Atlanta.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if you're one of those guys, do you now attach your name to Drake? I don't. I think you take a step back for a bit.
Yeah, and even then, because like if Future doesn't fuck with Drake, Future is like the king of Atlanta, basically. So you're gonna go against Future? Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, you know what? My next thing then is talking about, like you mentioned, king of Atlanta. Who takes the throne next?
See, that's crazy because these guys, like the self-proclaimed big three, they've been on top for so long. Like we were talking about this, like in my opinion, I think J. Cole really hit his prime when Forest Hills Drive came out. That was like 10 years ago, right? So think about it, he's been in his prime for like 10 years, even if he's rapping now like, oh, I just hit my prime. But like Kendrick, when he dropped like Good Kid, Mad City, like he was like, he took off from there, and that's been over 10. Like same with Drake, right? Like when he dropped Take Care, I think most people admit he hit his prime.
It's one of
and
his
that's
greatest
over
albums.
10 years ago, right?
I still think that's one of his greatest.
Yeah, these guys have been around forever. And who else is really stepping into that role? I think like the first people that come to my mind is like, just because Drake mentioned them on push-ups, he goes Savage got you wiped down, Travis got you wiped down. So I mean, I guess 21 and Travis, they're up there, and I think those are two. Like 21, I think is really dope. I think a lot of people gravitate towards him because even if you're older, you can understand everything he's saying.
Straight
right?
to the point. He's one of those guys.
He's not a mumble rapper.
Yeah.
So
he actually commented for the first time because somebody in his live started asking about these questions, and he straight up said like, "Metro's my brother, Drake's my brother. Man, these two gonna figure it out eventually." So
yeah.
Which I don't think these guys will figure it out.
But he's like the first one that really came out and said, I'm neutral. Yeah. So maybe more people will come out and say that too, right?
That's a huge statement. I think it's a smart statement.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like talking business and just business alone, you don't ever underestimate Drake. The internet is very, you've mentioned it in one of the older episodes, the internet's very what's now. Tomorrow something else happens. Listen, who the fuck's talking about Diddy right now? No one's talking about Diddy. All of a sudden it's just been Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah,
so who knows what's gonna happen next? And 21 knows he might need Drake again down the road.
You never know, right? And yeah, then like Travis is right there. Like we were talking about how I mean, I wouldn't mention Future because Future's already like big four. So I wouldn't say he's up next.
I still don't think Future can hold up.
So one thing I was gonna mention was so like we were having this discussion off camera, like how hard it is to do like arena tours around the place, right? Yeah. Travis can come around and do arena tours. Obviously the big three can, but not everyone can. Future is scheduled to do an arena tour right now.
Metro, and realistically, they after dropping We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You, like and then having the Drake beef and all this shit, like this all stemmed from Metro. So
and that's like hella publicity too, right? Like this, you just went number one. You have like that.
This is the epitome of your career right now. Like you're not gonna have another moment after this, So yes, it makes perfect sense that these guys decided to go on a tour right now. But me and Holmes here, we were thinking of going, and ticket prices in Vancouver are outrageous. So we sort of thought about it, like, are they really worth going? Yada yada yada. So we look, and next thing you know, like I was at 60%, 50 to 60% empty. And I get it, it's early, so the concert's in September, so we're like, let's dig deeper. So I pull up Ticketmaster, I go to like Atlanta, I go to Kansas City, I go to LA, like all
everywhere. Yeah.
Some of these places are like 80% empty, and their shows in like July, like June, July. We're already mid-May. Like by now, like we pulled up Chris Brown as a comparison. Chris Brown's like fucking damn near sold out.
Chris Brown is selling out everywhere. What the?
And so that makes you wonder, like, I personally feel We Don't Trust You was only a hit because of them mentioning Drake. Take out Kendrick's verse dissing Drake. Was there really an album to be like, we're gonna like? Because you told me about this album way back, and there was no hype for the album compared to like once people found out there's a Drake diss.
It was a different type of hype, like finding out like, oh shit, Kendrick's on it. Oh shit, they're dissing Drake. Like, of course. It was a moment. Like, people are gonna look back and be like, "Holy shit! Remember when that happened?" Right?
And even We Still Don't Trust You. ASAP Rocky threw shots, but no one really.
Yeah, we Still Don't Trust You didn't hit the same as We Don't Trust You.
And that's what I mean. Like, everybody, even at the end of the day, like Kendrick's numbers are through the roof right now. I think we were we were looking at it, like Kendrick's Not Like Us broke records. It's like for most song streams in a week for any rapper, he hit 81.2 million streams.
Yeah,
for that one song.
And it broke the single day streaming record for a rap song, which beat out Drake and Lil Baby song.
Oh, that one, the Girls Like Girls.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
And In My Feelings, they did throw in.
Which is kind of crazy in itself to think like a diss song went number one and broke all these records, and on top of that, Kendrick broke Drake's records in the process, and he's dissing Drake.
Huge.
So it's like there's so many little like layers here.
Even Mustard, brilliant fucking move jumping in on that because he got his first number one in his whole career. Like he's made hits
that's
like
wild to think.
Show Me, Chris Brown, all that shit.
So many, with 2 Chainz, with Mustard did songs with everybody,
and he got his first number one now after what, like I think 12 years or something.
Yeah.
So. And at the end of the day, it all stems from fucking Drake. So, I'm not sitting here fucking saying, hail Drake or anything, but I am saying, like, we got to give him his props at the end of the day. No,
that's cool. But going back to...
That was
like
a moment.
Yeah.
That was a really big
I don't know how we got there. But going back to, like, who we think is going to take over, like, after these guys, like, big three. I think... like Kodak, I think is like probably right there. I think he's in line. If he stays out of trouble,
I don't know, man. I think Kodak was there.
He's been around for a minute too,
but he's not there anymore. I
don't know. I think he is when he wants to be. Like when he drops, like when he really drops projects.
Yeah, I mean, but it never hits as hard. I think when he did that. That one where he like did that fucking dance with, and he did it with
Z's or whatever,
yeah. That was like that prime. Like he could have done something then.
But I think he's always getting in trouble, like legal trouble and stuff like that. So I think that's like his issue if he stays out of trouble.
Then you have, I think, NBA Youngboy?
NBA Youngboy. Well, like I'd put him in the same with like Young Thug. But these guys are on trial or locked up. Like it's crazy.
The thing is, though, if you really realize it, like you mentioned earlier, man, a lot of these guys came out like 10 years ago and they've had a chokehold on this rap game.
Yeah.
So I still think NBA Youngboy or Kodak or all these guys, they're not there yet. They need to drop a lot more like larger projects. But that being said, today's audience is not as loyal as they used to be as we were. And I think that's why we were. I personally don't think there will be another full-on big three again.
I don't know. Like it always happens. I think it's inevitable. But like everyone was saying, Lil Baby was up next.
Lil Baby was supposed to be.
And then all of a sudden, Lil Baby, like it was almost like a sure thing. Like everyone's like, oh no, he's already there. Like
I couldn't understand.
If he's not there, he's up next.
Yeah, like I couldn't understand half the shit he said, and because it was like mumbling so much. But it was still a bop.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
I
still fuck with it.
But then all of a sudden, now everyone loves to hate. Like, oh, he fell off. He hasn't had a hit forever.
But I mean, didn't he fall off though? Realistically,
I mean, yeah. What was his last hit?
He's not as bad as DaBaby. Like DaBaby took a fucking tumble, man.
Well, he
fell out of his fucking high chair.
Him and like I think like two guys I think that would have been there are Tory Lanez and DaBaby. But
Tory was on the up and up.
They essentially got canceled and one locked up too.
Yeah,
but that's crazy. Like I feel like Tory was so like he had it all. He could sing, he could rap, he could do whatever he wanted, right? Like anything he touched with, in my opinion,
fucking Canada. You see that again? Tory, Justin Bieber, Drake,
and DaBaby was like going mainstream too. Like he had hit songs with Meg. He had
but he got
Danny
canceled
like
hard.
Yeah,
hard.
Yeah.
I feel like people tried to make an example out of him.
Oh, for sure.
Because I've seen some fucked up shit like come up, like Metro Groomin. He didn't get canceled.
No.
And that was way worse than what DaBaby did. But people don't give a fuck, man.
But it wasn't in present time, though. That's the thing.
True, but this is touchy subject.
Like, maybe some females will come up and take it, because, I don't know, Cardi B, when was the last time Cardi B really dropped a full project?
I feel like Nicki took her spot back.
I don't even know. Did she?
I think she did. Because I feel like after Cardi and Offset broke up, they lost that sort of couple power.
When was Cardi's last project?
She's been dropping songs.
But she just drops singles, really, right? She doesn't drop
just singles.
She doesn't drop albums.
No,
she doesn't have to. She probably doesn't care. But like, I don't know. Then you got, obviously, like Meg's around. I don't know if Coi Leray
Meg that fell off. Meg she did fucking shit all. I personally think after Tory's shit, she just sort of nosedived.
Yeah, I know. Then she had beef too with
That's what I mean.
Nicki. Yeah, I don't know this. So I mean,
At the
there's
end
a
of the
bunch
day,
of female rappers.
Nicki's
like
still
the
there.
spot. What I'm trying to say is like the spot is there. Someone could come. And
I
then-
think once Nicki hangs it up for good, that's when a female rapper will come. But it won't be like the Coy Leroy's or any of these guys. Like it's gonna have to be somebody new.
There's probably a couple that could have been there. Like Juice
Yeah.
WRLD obviously was like
Juice,
huge, so big. But I mean, R.I.P.
That's the other thing. Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke, R.I.P.
Right.
Pop Smoke. He was. I thought he was gonna be a
guys
superstar,
had
man. I felt like he had it figured out. Like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like everybody was on Pop Smoke.
So,
and
but
then,
even
and
that though.
Triple XXX Tentacion. Like
Yeah.
he
But see,
was
all
like
these ones
doing
you're
major
mentioning-
streaming numbers too. And
All these guys you're mentioning, they had a different, something different to them,
they had like a crazy groundswell. Like
Right.
their fan base was like,
and their style
nuts.
was different. Pop
Yeah.
Smoke, there hasn't been another Pop Smoke. There hasn't been another Juice WRLD. There hasn't been another XXX. Like there's all these. Like it's not the same. So I think somebody who comes, and that's why I think Kendrick, Cole, and Drake were the big three for so long, because Drake had that singing angle, right? Kendrick had the straight up like gritty rap, like just like
and representing West Coast,
real
and just
life
being
fucking rap.
lyricist. Yeah.
And Cole was just Cole, man. Cole's
Yeah.
just a cool guy.
Cole-
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but even now, like some people still hold Cole up there as like the best rapper, regardless of any of this drama.
I think
Big Daddy Kane even said that.
Yeah.
They were talking about the Drake and Kendrick beef, and they're like, "Who's your favorite MC?" He's like, "I still like J. Cole. J. Cole's his favorite MC still."
Yeah, I agree. I think Cole ejected at the right time, and I personally think he jumped back in that spot for now.
You seen that picture of him sitting on the beach?
On the beach? Oh man, that was the fucking best picture I've ever seen.
Apparently, like it's all over the internet. It's very easy to find. But if you search and if you haven't seen it, some fan found J. Cole on the beach. He's literally laying there with headphones and like his laptop bag and everything. And he's just like, I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's by
He's
himself
living
on the
his
beach.
fucking life.
Yeah,
right
like
now, man.
he meant that whole apology. He wants his peace.
Yeah,
Like that's so crazy.
When he did that, he knew what the fuck he was doing, man.
But so where do you think Cole goes from here now?
I think Cole goes back to the spot. In my eyes, I think Cole jumps back in. There's another 2 spots left. I think Drake and Kendrick are there, but they're gonna. I think Kendrick. Actually, no, sorry. What am I talking about? Kendrick is still in the spot. Cole is in the spot. Drake, I think, has to really do some damage control here to get back in the third.
This is real crazy because it was like, oh, the big 3, and then it was like, oh no, J. Cole ain't in the big 3 no more. And that now what? Now maybe Drake isn't it? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Look how fast shit changes. Maybe Kendrick was right. It's just Big Me.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know, man. I don't want to admit that defeat for Canada, but it's tough to fucking. You know what? I will give Drake the loss. That's fine. Take the L. But I just hope that other shit isn't true. All the shit on the side, the static.
I hope none of this shit's true for any of them.
That's what I
hope
mean,
it was
right?
just all
Like-
beef on wax. I think Top Dog tweeted, Kendrick's manager,
Yeah.
and I think that was like one of the dopest tweets. He's like, "Okay, the beef is over," and like I'm just paraphrasing, and he's basically just saying like, "Thank God it stayed on wax. Everyone move on," and
Yeah.
that's it.
And Preem from OVO's camp reposted that too. So I think both sides are probably in that state of like, let's call. Actually, I heard Kendrick's not in that state. Kendrick doesn't like that sort of winding down.
Yeah.
But I think for Drake, it's the best thing for everybody to sort of settle right now.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think Drake and Kendrick. I mean, they're not going to be like, "Oh, good game, shake hands," and
Yeah,
you know what
I
I
think
mean.
that's
Like,
done.
It's they're probably still going to throw shots, subs
But
here and there.
It's funny because I saw this clip. I forgot who it was. I think it was like Shaq or somebody or 2 other. No, it was the other basketball player that has from Lakers. What the fuck? Why can't I remember his name right now? Magic Johnson. And I forgot who he was talking to, but it was like they did an interview. They're really out of the limelight for a while. They're older. And they're sitting there across from each other in suits, and they're dapping each other up like, "I'm sorry, bro. Like that shit back like 20 years ago. That shit was fucked up, man. We need to be on the same team. We're good now." And like literally, somebody posted saying like, "This is Drake and Kendrick 20 years from now. They're gonna cool it eventually, and by then it's gonna be like that happy ending, you know."
But I think it's so funny how, like, yeah, they're beefing and there's the biggest beef, but meanwhile, it's like everyone just started
It's
beefing.
a cool thing to do.
Everybody started beefing. It's like, hey, they're fighting. You know what? I'm gonna get in a fight too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk some shit too. Like everybody just doing it at the same time. Just cause, like, to capitalize on it, I guess. I don't know.
I mentioned Ross earlier, and did you see the game?
Oh yeah,
Game disc? I feel like Game was like, oh, Drake mentioned me, so now, like in like a wrestling match, like tag me in, I'm in. You know, like, and he took shots at Ross. I think Game is talented. The beat I wasn't super crazy about.
The Game loves beef. We all know that.
Well, the Game, I think it's a good way of him trying to stay relevant right now. The Ross's only response was he was eating some shit out of a Louis Vuitton glass bowl and a spoon, and just laughing his ass off and saying like, y'all don't eat or some shit. And I think Ross is smart. He knows like, let's just not, it's not worth going after
What's he
Game.
gonna do? Like, what are they gonna?
Yeah. So the thing was, Ross gained a lot because using Drake's name, he pumped his car show heavy, and people that kept sharing it kept sharing Ross's car show at the bottom. So clearly that made sense. It doesn't make sense to go after Game.
Yeah, I mean, and Game can rap his ass off too. He's like, say what you want about Game, but he can really rap.
Yeah, he can. It's crazy to see him from like the dating show. I forgot what it was.
Change of Heart,
and then to see him where he is now, it's pretty solid. Another beef, King Combs, Diddy's son. Yeah, he literally looks like a fucking young Diddy.
Yeah, totally.
He took some shots at 50. I don't even know what the fuck he said. I feel like there's so many beefs. I can't even keep up with everything that's going on right now.
He was saying a lot of dumb shit in it too. But man, why would you ever want to beef with 50? If there's one guy I don't want to beef with, like, it's 50, because he's never gonna let it die.
He does not give a
fuck.
He does not give a fuck.
Yeah, just like 50 is gonna be 50. Just let 50.
Let him be $1. But one stupid fucking thing that King Combs said was the FBI raided 2 of our houses, but they didn't raid the 3rd. Like, are you fucking dumb?
He said something. Yeah,
bro. Why would you drop a diss track while your dad's like in the limelight for all this fucked up shit?
I know. Let's give the feds more evidence.
Yeah.
Like they need more.
Let the heat die, man. Everybody's talking Kendrick Drake. Ain't nobody talking about Diddy.
And come on, like, you know they use this stuff in court too. Like,
yeah, look at Young Thug.
Yeah,
right. Like,
which is wild. Like, I can't believe
wild.
Yeah.
I wonder where Young Thug is gonna go after. Like, he's buddies with the whole industry. He's down with everybody.
He's probably worried about himself, as he should be.
No, but I mean,
like, he's probably like, man, fuck all this beef shit. I need to get my ass home
well,
first.
I'm just saying, like, because I think you said he's been locked up for 2 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. His 2-year anniversary just happened.
Years.
He's been locked up for 2 years. Like, time flies. I didn't even realize it was that long.
You know what? I actually didn't realize how much I missed Young Thug's music until he actually got locked up. You know, like, I'm actually like, fuck, I miss like a Young Thug feature. Young Thug feature. Young Thug. And then obviously you got stupid shit from Soulja Boy.
Man,
he's always taking shots at 21
just Soulja
and
being
Metro.
Soulja
Like,
too, yeah.
Soulja's dumb as fuck for that shit, man. But listen, he's trying to stay relevant. It is what it is. Fuck, man, it's crazy that like our last like 5-6 episodes have just been beef. Like, that's how crazy this hip hop game's been.
That's what I mean. It created a lot of moments though. When you really think about, like,
I'll never forget where I was.
Yeah, really though.
When they dropped that song.
But that's nuts though. There's so many moments of like, oh shit, like he just dropped. Oh shit, he said what?
Yeah.
And you're just like, there's so much going on, and what a wild time in hip hop, because these are like really, really high profile artists all going at it.
20 years from now,
that doesn't
I'll be telling my
happen.
kids.
Like, normally people beef and you're just like, oh, they're not like the biggest, most streamed mainstream artists. Like, that doesn't happen often.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I hope this sort of just ends here and nothing fucked up comes up. I mean, it'd be great for content for our episodes, but at the end of the day, this is not what we really think is the culture.
Yeah, man. Wish them all well, success, and hope they keep making good music for us, because, like I said before, man, we were the winners. We got to experience all this stuff. Yeah.
But I did hear that Kendrick is supposedly dropping Not Like Us music video. Ooh, that would be fucking. I don't know where you'd go from.
He may as well, man. The song is huge. You should drop a video for it.
I heard there's a Not Like Us remix somewhere there too.
Oh god.
And I don't want to know who's on there. I did hear from somebody that the Not Like Us video has LeBron in it, which would be fucking crazy.
I don't see. I know.
Hey, listen,
I don't see that happening.
I'm saying it here now, because if it is the case, then we said it here first. But I mean, fuck, if everybody else is lying, why don't we fucking make some lies up, man? It seems like that's like the new normal to do.
We need receipts.
We need receipts. Yeah, fuck, we definitely need some receipts. Some solid invoices, man. We need a fucking accountant here to clean this shit up, man. But I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have to find some new shit to talk about next week, which is kind of good. I've been looking forward to
finally getting back to reality.
It's hard to not touch on this. It's like the talk of the town. You gotta mention it, right? And
well, that's what I mean. You gotta mention it, but it's messy now, and now it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's lost that appeal, you know.
Like we were saying, man. I want to see who else is gonna step up. Who else is gonna drop music, step into the limelight? Who other than the big three? Like who else? Maybe Dirk. Dirk's gotta drop something new.
Yeah, maybe. This is like realistically though. This is the perfect time. Because these guys have had a chokehold on the game for so long that I think people are now feeling exhaustion.
I know, bro. You look at every playlist like on Spotify or wherever. It's just like Kendrick Drake, Kendrick Future.
Non-stop.
It's literally like imagine you went somewhere for like a month, you didn't know what happened.
Oh fuck!
You come back and you're like, oh, let me catch up on music. You're probably like, what the fuck? Like it's just why did Kendrick and Drake keep talking about each other?
It's honestly there's gonna be a movie about this one day, man. A documentary, you know, and fuck. Like even we're listening to Not Like Us right now. It just came on.
Yeah.
And it's just like hearing it, the more you hear it, the more you like it. Like it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
It's fire. It's fire.
It's crazy. But that's a wrap for this week.
It's time to call it.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that shit. We appreciate you guys supporting us.
Let us know what you think. Do you have any different opinions on the beef? Who you think's up next? Which artists? Peace.
It's a wrap. Boom.